Wow, I think this will be the most interesting wrap up so far in 2025. I have a 5-star read and a 1-star read to talk about, and they are in the same series. Never thought I would experience that, and yet here we are. Hello, friends. My name is Miranda. Welcome back to my universe. And today I am bringing you my May and June wrap up. I know that we are still in June. Okay. I know that I'm early with this. These past 2 months have been something. We have 2 major wins in the reading realm. One being that I finally picked up my favorite author again. And number 2 being I started annotating again. Because for a while there, I don't know if any of you have noticed, any of you who have been watching me for a while, I used to annotate my books a lot. I stopped doing that at the beginning of this year once I picked up reading again. But alas, Miranda has started annotating again. Finally, a milestone. I'm so excited. I love annotating. I really feel more like myself now. Also, quick side note before I continue on with this video, I'm almost to 6,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. I have no words for how grateful I am. I want to do a 6,000 subscriber Q&A because I've realized that most of you watching this video were not around for my last Q&A because I did that at 500 subscribers. That being said, if you have a question for me, if you want to get to know me better, ask whatever you want in the comments below, please. I really want to keep a lot of the questions constrained to this video and maybe next week's video as well. So if you comment questions under other videos, I most likely will just answer it in the comments and I won't answer it over camera for the Q&A. If you have a question for me, please comment it down below. I would love to answer it for you. Let's get on with the video now. All right, so for this video, I will be going over the books that I read in the months of May and June. I usually go over the books that I'm currently reading, but I don't technically have any books that I'm in the middle of reading right now. But in replacement of that, I did want to kind of go over just some of the life changes that have been happening in my life, what has been happening recently, kind of give you a mini life update. Of course, as always, I'm going to have timestamps, so if you don't want to watch that, you don't have to. But I wanted to include it in case there are people who kind of want to get a little bit deeper into what's happening in my world, in my universe, if you will. Let's start off with the month of May. I finished a mere 2 books. The first one I finished was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the second book in the Powerless trilogy. This is a young adult fantasy romance series. This second book is my favorite in the whole series. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Literally perfection in my eyes. This book can do no wrong. I will not listen to you if you think that this book deserves less than 5 stars. I ate this book up. Was fantastic. And then I picked up another pretty awesome book, if I do say so myself, by my favorite author. I finally got back into the man, the myth, the legend, Stephen King. And I read Holly. This book follows around our main character, Holly Gibney, as she strikes again. Strikes, not really. She's not a villain, okay? Evil strikes again. And Holly comes to the rescue. What I really enjoyed about this book was the characters, first of all. If you don't like Holly, you're not going to enjoy this book. Holly Gibney is a reoccurring character in the Stephen King universe, and some people get really annoyed with her, which makes me laugh so hard when people comment under my videos, like things like, oh, Holly is overwritten. I don't like Holly. When will Stephen King give us something different? And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, homie, you have free will. Here's your reminder that you don't have to read the book if you don't like the characters that are in the book. Some people are so silly. I digress. When I originally rated this book, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. But now that I look back, and I have been doing a lot of soul searching recently regarding my rating scale for books, sometimes in my reviews, I can be a little bit quick to rate very high. With this one and the other Stephen King book that I read that I will mention later on in this video, I ended up rating 5 out of 5 stars originally. But since my review has been up and since I've done a lot of digging and thinking about this, I've decided to change my rating, and it is now a 4-star novel, which is still great, right? Like, that's still amazing. I just realized that, and I talk about my issues in my review. I guess I just never really thought, like, hey, it's okay for me to dock a star. I think I'm just so easy to please. I love giving books really high stars, which is why it's super disappointing when I read a book that doesn't get a lot of stars. Because it's like, come on, man, you didn't even have to work for it. Do you see who's reading you right now? I'm so easy to please. Going into June, I was reading the newest Stephen King novel, Never Flinch, and I finished it in June as well. This book I also gave a 5 out of 5 stars initially, but since then I have changed it to 4 stars because I've realized that this book does have flaws, and there were issues I did have that I didn't properly assess in my original star rating. Never Flinch is another Holly Gibney novel, so another detective novel. There's this huge case. Well, actually, it's 2 cases, really. I have multiple videos about this book on my channel. I have a spoiler-free reading vlog up that you could go watch if you don't want spoilers, or I have a spoilery review and discussion. Solid novel, 4 out of 5 stars, really good. But once again, my videos say that I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, which is incorrect at this point, but honestly, it's fine. I'm okay with it. And then we get to The Thorn in My Side. I finished Fearless by Lauren Roberts, and I wish I never picked it up. This is my 1-star book. This is my only 1-star so far. And genuinely, I am so disappointed. This is the ending of the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts. And I think part of my disappointment was due to the fact that the second book was a 5-star read and I had such high hopes for it. This one just literally kept getting worse and worse, and the ending was the nail in the coffin for me. I have a rant review on my channel about it. I'm done. I don't know if I'll ever pick up another Lauren Roberts book again. Which is so, I don't mean to be mean. I don't want to be mean. I don't like being mean. But it was so disappointing. So disappointing. The worst ending to a series I've read in my life. Okay, now onto a lighter note. I just finished this book today and I'm so excited about it and proud of myself for finishing it. I should have finished this book 2 months ago. My boyfriend and I are doing like a mini book club where we read through his favorite series together, and I finished Aragon by Christopher Paolini. It was honestly really good. I think just the first half of this novel was really slow and hard to get into for me. And for that, I had to dock it a star. However, overall, it is a 4 out of 5 stars. Aragon is the first book in a children's fantasy series that follows around a young boy named Aragon who finds a dragon egg, and this radically changes his life. I will have a video diving deeper into my thoughts and feelings of this novel along with what my boyfriend thinks of this novel because we read it basically together. So I don't want to say too much to give away that video. You'll have to keep your eyes peeled. I think my boy Chris does a great job in this novel. Like, overall, it was a really good fantasy story. And I mean, there's 4 more books to the series, so I can't wait to continue with that. And those are the 5 books that I read in May and June. We had 1 star, 3 4-stars, and a 5-star. So overall, pretty solid, all things considered. I'm planning on picking up the second book in the Inheritance series, which is what Aragon is a part of, obviously, if you couldn't tell with the basically matching covers of the dragons, but with different colors. This is Eldest. I'll probably read it. I'll probably start it tonight, genuinely, knowing myself. It's a thick one. So that's one that I'm planning on starting. I do want to start another Stephen King novel really bad, really bad. So I probably will pick up Cell or Eyes of the Dragon or one of his short story collections. I'm just kind of debating that still right now. I've also been really itching to pick up another young adult novel. So overall, I am kind of in like a weird time where I don't exactly know what I want to read. So for now, I'm sticking with Eldest, and then we'll go from there. As far as my life update goes, I wanted to update you on a few pretty important and big things in my life. The biggest one is that I quit my job back in May. All good reasons. I don't have any bad blood with the company at all. For those of you who didn't know, I have been bartending and serving at a local Italian restaurant for a collective 5 years now. I quit back in May because I wanted to give myself space and room to breathe this summer before I start actually pursuing a career in elementary schools come the new school year. I do have a job lined up. In July, I am starting as a paraprofessional specialist at an elementary school. So that's basically like a teacher assistant for those of you who don't know the lingo of the schools. I'm very excited for that. I'm also just so glad that I have extra time because I've been in my master's program for so long. I feel like for forever I've been juggling school and work. So to be able to take a step back this summer just for 2 months to not have to worry about a job has been such a blessing and has been so freeing. Like, I thank God that I'm in a position where I can do that. I am currently in a new internship as well. That's my other big life update. If you watched my life vlog that I posted last month, I believe it was last month, then you probably remember me talking about how I was interning at an elementary school. Well, as all schools do, this one is closed for the summer. So I was unable to finish out my credit hours and my internship hours with the school. So I had to find a different internship. It is kind of unfortunate because I did love the school so much that I wish I could have stayed there for the duration of my hours. However, it's okay. Everything works out the way it's supposed to. I was able to grab an internship at a behavioral health hospital. So, that being said, very different environment, let me tell you. I am currently in my 4th week. So, I've spent a whole month at the hospital and I do enjoy it. I just think it is way more intimidating and more stressful naturally than working in the elementary school. But all of that to say, it has still been a very rich experience so far. I finish up all of my internship hours at the end of August, actually. Very exciting. And then I graduate with my master's in December. So I'm getting very close to all of those milestones. But yeah, I guess summer of 2025 is one full of change for me. Still in school, so I'm still juggling that as well. And then I just have reading, my family, visiting with friends. Yeah, the usual. But yeah, life has been going good. I am so glad it's summer, even though it gets so hot here in Arizona. Oh my gosh. The other day I was laying out and I almost passed out. Yeah, I spent way too much time out in the sun. I should have been more smart about that as well. So just be careful out there, especially if you live in the desert like I do. But overall, I love summer. I love swimming. My family has a pool, and I spend a ton of my time out there in the summer. So, yeah, life is good. So, it will get better. Life always gets better. If you're in a tough spot, if you're in a spot that you don't understand really what's happening or what to even do with your life, or if everything feels like it's falling apart, let me just tell you that it gets better. Keep pushing on. You are here for a reason. So, God knew that the earth needed one of you, and that is a beautiful thing. You're amazing. You're loved, cherished, seen, appreciated. I love you. Thank you for watching my video and supporting me. If you've made it this far and you've watched the whole thing, that just means the world to me. Thank you so much. I hope that you all have such a magnificent week. As always, please give this video a like if you enjoyed this content and want more of it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below any of your thoughts, feelings, questions, concerns. I love you all so, so much. Mwah. Please be safe, make good choices, and I definitely will see you next time. Bye!